Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Beating the Odds. It is Sunday, February 4th, 2024. We are back with our college basketball best bets of the day. If you're new to the channel, my name is Zach, and welcome to Beating the Odds. Hit that subscribe button, like this video, and notification bell so you never miss a pick. We post these college basketball videos every single day, along with the NFL, NBA, and NHL. We're also coming off big winning years in college football and the MLB. Going after our first 15,000 subscribers, our first year on YouTube. Really excited to have y'all here. Let's go win together today. Let's go make some money. And to recap yesterday's results, I have a lot to say about yesterday. We went 4 and 5 yesterday. Units wise, we had either, depending on how you played it, for the way I played it, I had a barely winning day because of how big I bet on our best bet North Carolina. But 4 and 5, I have a lot to say about it. First off, members only best bet North Carolina minus 4.5. Duke tried to build. Duke, you had your refs try to bail them out 100 times. Didn't matter. North Carolina minus 4.5, winner. Texas plus 4.5, winner outright. Members only, Texas A&M minus 2.5. The fact that this game was even this close, the fact that Texas A&M could not make their goddamn free throws is an absolute disgrace. They should be in the gym every single day. I know they won, but the fact is you need to cover 2.5 against Florida. It's unacceptable. And the fact is that A&M. That was the biggest crock of shit ever. Tyrese Radford, you were the worst free throw shooter I've ever seen in my entire life for a guy who's a really good player, especially as a guard. A&M should have covered that easily, but they couldn't make free throws down the stretch or get a clean rebound, which annoyed the hell out of me. Next, we had Ole Miss plus 3.5. That was a loss. They're up by 9 points at halftime and end up losing by 16 points. You cannot get blown out by 25 at home in a half. I mean, that's just unreal. Then UConn minus 3.5, that was a winner. San Diego State minus 4.5. The return of the system. When an unranked team is favored against a ranked team and they're at home, you bet the unranked team. San Diego State minus 4.5, winner. Then Houston and Kentucky did not show up. Kentucky, by the way, just for them. I mean, Kentucky, I think Tennessee was 4-37 going into Kentucky over the last 41 attempts. Well, congratulations, Tennessee. Now they're 5-37. And then Baylor minus 3.5, very similar story to A&M. You're up by 15 points. You're up by 15 points going into the second half. How on earth do you lose the lead? And at one point they were down by 4. That means Iowa State outscored them by 19 points in the second half at one point. And then you get back and you get fouled. You're up by 2. Make both your free throws. Just make them both. And then we cover. We're all happy. Blah blah blah. And guess what? You couldn't even do that. So man, it was some bullshit. We're overall for the year 146 and 128. So we are 18 games over 500. However, our 60% standard across all the other sports that we do is not there right now for college basketball. But I've been doing this for 5 years. 1 year on YouTube, but 5 years in general, making some serious money from betting. And one thing I will tell you is that if the season started out like it has with us right now, it means the end of the season is going to be absolutely fantastic because that's what we do. We finish at 59, 60, 61% for just about every single sport. And I'll tell you this right now, last year, if you remember last year, for those guys who were with me, because I just started, so there's a bunch of y'all ride or dies, we had a hell of a month of February, March, and April, and that's what I'm expecting here today. So we have 3 picks today in college basketball. We have a little bit of a limited slate here, but I'm going to find some winners here. We have a members-only play that I love, along with an NBA members-only play. You go to tdmbets.com/picks. Website link in the comments below. But I also have 2 free picks I'm going to give you guys here on YouTube. I'm going to start with our first play, which is going to be Wisconsin, plus 2.5 versus Purdue. And when I look at this Wisconsin team, the biggest difference between this Wisconsin team and Wisconsin's of years past is they have players who would take guys off the dribble and make their own shot. And excuse me, when you look at these teams, right? Purdue, I don't trust their guards at all, especially on the road. And Purdue has shown that on the road, they are vulnerable. They can be beaten. Northwestern beat them outright. Nebraska beat them outright. And Wisconsin at home is substantially better than either of these teams. Now, Wisconsin did collapse against Nebraska. I think that was more so looking ahead, perfect storm. The guy hit 1,000,000 threes. We had Nebraska in that game, so that was nice. But when I look at this Wisconsin team versus Purdue, I like that I'm getting 2.5 points. I like the fact that Zach Edey is just a big person, not a skilled basketball player. He just isn't. He might win National Player of the Year again. And everyone's going to fawn over how great he is and how many points he scores. But the problem is that when he goes to the NBA, he's going to get drafted 58th. out of the 60 possible draft spots, or if he gets drafted at all, because he doesn't have a feel for the game. He's just a big-ass body, and Wisconsin has the bodies to bother him. And if they can get him into those little right-handed jump hooks that are from 7, 8, 9, 10 feet away, or those left-handed jump hooks, or they can get him into foul trouble, which they easily can because he doesn't have the discipline to be able to play. Like, if those things can happen, Wisconsin wins this game and they win it comfortably. I'm not talking about winning it by 3 or 4. I'm talking about winning it by like 10. Because Wisconsin, I think, is the better team. And I trust the Wisconsin guards and wings so much more than I trust Purdue's guards and wings. Because Braden Smith, they're like, oh my God, he's a player. No, he's not. He's not a good player. I guarantee you what's going to happen is he's going to get in trouble in this game. He's going to have a bunch of turnovers, and Wisconsin's going to eat them alive. Fletcher Loyer is a good player. Other than that, though, I love Wisconsin to win this game outright. I'm going to take the points, but I like them winning outright. And then we're going to go with Illinois minus 9.5 versus Nebraska. And like I said, we had Nebraska last game. And Nebraska is a very, very solid team. But they're going on the road to Champaign. And they're coming off a gigantic, and I mean a gigantic, gargantuan win against Wisconsin. This is a letdown spot all day long. The sharp money today is all over Illinois. Illinois is going to win this game by 1,000,000. I like Nebraska. My family is Nebraska fans because we're military. But the fact is that, when it comes down to it, today at least, Illinois is going to make Nebraska look like a D2 team because they have better players at every single position. They're better coached, in my opinion. Excuse me, rubbing my eyes. I'm still getting over being sick a little bit. And on top of that, when you look at Illinois, they've got it. This is a game I think that they win by 1,000. So I'm rolling with them here on the minus 9.5 versus Nebraska. Now, like I said, we do have 2 members only plays. You get at zdmbest.com/picks, website link in the comments below. But a quick recap of what we have Wisconsin plus 2.5. Illinois minus 9.5. So let's go lock in those picks. Let's go win together today. Let's go make some money. I'll see you all tomorrow. Make sure y'all check those other videos.